get this roll on the show. Let's get this road on the show. Come on. So other than Blake and Nevin over there, who's got some wins?
Hey, this is Brian.
What up, Brian?
I was gonna try to start off with a joke, but you guys are already too funny.
No, keep it going.
I just test schedule next Friday.
Say it one more time.
That one's going to get my list. My national and state tests are scheduled Friday. So in 1 week.
Here we go. Let's go. Who's next?
Well, I was going to say that I got to the gym all the scheduled days today because I got up in time and got my workout done before the call.
Bro. Yeah, that's what's up, Blake. Who else? Who else has some wins? Haley, why don't you share with the group a huge win that you had this week? I know they want to know. I know they want to know.
Yeah, I spoke for the first time in front of non-real estate people, and because of my real estate business was able to have that opportunity, and I got paid, and I got a few new followers on social media, and just felt like things are falling into place with that dream that I want to speak in front of lots of people. And I was like, you guys, this is going down in history because when I told them, I'm like, when I'm in front of thousands of people, I can say that this all started.
It all started
Gather on Central Avenue in Faribault, which is my hometown. But it was amazing. I felt like it wasn't even like what I was originally hoping was that the speech went well or the presentation went well. But what really was amazing about it was like facing fear and overcoming it, not stopping like 10 times. And like that rush afterwards of like, that was ballsy. And I like could have like literally ran away many times, but I didn't. So it was just really cool. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, super proud of you. Really, really cool. Great work. And for those of you that didn't know, Conversations That Convert, it's the place where professional speakers come together. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Side effects may include getting paid to speak.
Yeah, I feel that.
Nice work. Nicely done. Nicely done. Anyone else? Other wins? Other wins? Lene, do you want to share your news?
I got one.
With the news that I joined a team or
yeah, what? Which is super exciting.
I mean, it is great. I've already gotten a new investor client. We're actively looking. I've gotten 2 other clients that are, we'll say semi-actively looking with maybe some unrealistic expectations. So anyway, it's great. And I'm super pumped.
I'm so excited for you, right? Like, it's one of the things that I love to do the most in this is like, so our business is all about relationships. And where I'm at right now in my business, I get to spend a lot of time with other team leaders and rainmakers, et cetera. And, you know, sometimes on this call, you may hear me say some things, and I get asked this question sometimes. And interestingly enough, it can go either way. Sometimes people are like, all you do is talk about teams. And then some people are like, all you do is talk about leaving teams. And I'm like, no. Like, listen, I'm going to connect you with what's going to be best for you, because some people need to be on the sign and some people are going to make the sign everywhere, right? And like, there's a place for all of us. And I love connecting people that I can feel similarities. I can see connections, you know, where people can thrive. So I'm just really thrilled that you were able to step into that, make that connection. I'm so excited to see what you guys all do. Love Virginia and her team, and you know how I feel about you. So, rock and roll. Other wins, who's next? Yeah, Shane.
I was just gonna share with you my new guy, who we're affectionately calling New Car Smell Agent.
Okay.
He's 19, just got his license. I mean, he's been licensed for like 5 seconds. And per our conversation, Matt, we had Wednesday in our coaching call, I get him hooked up with like, you know, the best FSBO system ever created on the planet. He does some dials, and I'm not shitting you right now, totally straight, honest, from my heart. Gets a $2 million lake listing appointment this morning to go talk to this gal.
Bro.
Yeah,
Let's
right?
go.
I was just like, you got in the door. He was like, yeah, I looked at the stuff you sent me with the guide and what was on the website, and I watched a couple of the videos, and I had a conversation with her, and then she agreed to meet with me, and I was like, let's go. All
right, so thanks for coming to the call. We're done. Thanks for coming to the call. Yes. Gosh, I love that. Love that stuff. Listen, I'll say this every time. I love the testimonies, and I will always say this, guys. Everything works when you do. Everything works when you work it. Everything works. You just got to pick what you want to work, right? Pick it. Just pick the path, and then make a decision to go all in on it. That's the thing. You know, we talked on Wednesday, that conversation that Alex Hormozi had around his realization around sample size. And how when he was attempting a tactic that one of his mentors had shared with him, like flyering for a gym launch opening, and he did 300 flyers, his mentor was like, bro, we don't even test for less than 5,000. And once we find the one that works, we do 5,000 a day. And he's like, oh, I guess that's why my flyer didn't work. And so you have individuals that are like, all right, I heard open houses are it. I heard door knocking is the thing. I heard farming is the thing. Awesome. How long did you do it? Well, I sent out one thing and I didn't get any response. I sent it out to 50 people. This doesn't really work. I got to figure something else out. Meanwhile, you've got someone like Chris Suarez who moves from somewhere into a brand new market up into Seattle, doesn't know anyone, and just decides that he's going to do 4 open houses a week. And goes from not knowing anyone to 58 transactions in a brand new market, doing 20 million in sales. Knowing no one, only doing one thing, 4 open houses a week. That's it. You're like, well, I don't know where to find them. I don't know anybody with 4 listings that I can help them. Okay, cool. You get to hang on to that, right? So this is really fun. This is really interesting. Anyone another win before we jump into the conversation? I want to share with you something really, really cool. Anybody?
Hey, Matt, I just had a quick question about that story you shared.
Yeah, brother.
Was that his own open houses, or did he help find someone that was hosting open houses and help them to do the 4?
He went and found other people's listings and held those homes open for them, and took all the buyers and got listings from those open houses too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he had
I'm just interested.
Yeah, he had no listings. He found people in his office. He found people at his brokerage that had listings that were available, and he went and held them open and then marketed them all week long. Door knocked all 4 neighborhoods. That's all he did all week. Handwritten notes, door knocking, inviting people over, running ads, and then making them events, and then got really good at converting them. 4 open houses a week. That's all he did. He didn't call a lead list. He didn't buy Zillow. He didn't buy Realtor.com. All he did, 58 transactions in a brand new market, knowing no one, where the average sales price was like $500,000. It works when you work it, right? And then you just got to decide, okay, like if 1 works, what would 4 be like, right? If I get 1 person out of an open house, well, do I want 4 every week? Do I want 4 chances? Because how many times you ever meet somebody at an open house and they 100% convert? You may have to meet 6 people that are like, yeah, I'd love to work with you, and then 2 work, right? So awesome. I was listening to one of my new favorite podcasts, and if you're not listening to it, highly recommend it. Kind of on a bromance right now with my guy Alex Hormozi, and he has a podcast called The Game, and I didn't even realize he had a podcast. It's got over 533 episodes already. It's actually his longest form of content that he's been putting out, and he's gotten really prevalent in the last 3 years, last 2-3 years. And I was listening to his podcast where he was being interviewed, and it was a 2-part interview, and he shared so many like tips and nuggets throughout it. But there was this one concept that he shared that just, it comes up constantly in coaching. It comes up constantly in goal setting. And when I'm working with individuals that are experiencing certain challenges, like, I feel like this needs to be discussed. So for those of you that are taking notes, and if you're not taking notes, I suggest you grab something to write with, because this is going to be interactive now. This is going to be classroom session. I'd like for you to take a second and imagine yourself in 3 to 5 years operating at your highest potential. Like, this is you leading, operating, loving on your family at your highest potential. And then what are the top 5 characteristics or traits that you've had to develop at that level? Like, for instance, grit, perseverance, dedication. Like what are the 5 traits that you've developed at your highest potential when you're operating at like a 9.5 out of 10 in your future self? What have you developed? Write them down. I'm going to give you 30 more seconds to get at least 5 on your piece of paper or in your notepad. And then when you're done, look at your camera and smile. All right, 10 more seconds. You got your 5? All right. Everyone on this call knows each other. We're going to get off mute. We're going to share. So I'm going to start with you, Mike. What are your 5 characteristics or traits that the highest and best version of you has developed?
Discipline, resilience, curiosity, perseverance, and boundaries.
Cool. Love that. Charlie Lawson, CGS title coming in. Top 5.
Consistency, enthusiasm, courage, perseverance, and discipline.
Cool. Haley Warner, Legacy House. You're on mute. They're so good, but they haven't.
Sorry.
You. There you go.
Focus.
Okay.
Surrender, boldness, discipline, and faith.
Okay. Love it. Lene, I don't know if you're still there or not. If you can hear us. There you go.
I'm here. I'm just taking notes and stuff on my computer, so it's hard
Right
to.
on. That's fine. What are your 5?
Yeah. I said discipline. I said faith as well. Confidence, self-belief, which I know those sound similar, but they're different in my brain. And then joy.
Love it. Love it. Blake, the mountain climber, Seth. What are your 5? This just goes to show he's not even
He's
listening.
out of breath.
Where's he at? What's your 5, Blake? It's too loud. I don't care. So what? Unmute. What are your 5?
I didn't hear the entirety of the question because it's so loud.
Bro. Next time we're going to have a coaching conversation on priority.
Shame
Marcus,
me.
you're
Publicly
next.
stated.
He just wants
Let's
to
go.
show off that he's working out, but he doesn't actually want to listen.
Hey,
All
when
right,
you
Marcus,
got
you're
shoulders,
up. Take it
you
from
got
Blake.
shoulders that look like that, you don't have to listen.
That's not true. Tell me, what is it? My 5 what?
we said, what are the, so if you look at yourself in 3 to 5 years and you're operating at your highest potential, what are the 5 characteristics or traits that you've had to develop in order to get there?
Boldness, self-control, honesty, intensity, unstoppable.
Love it. Marcus, next.
Consistency, perseverance, discipline, setting expectations, and belief in myself.
Okay. Love it. Shane, what you got?
I got resilience, influence, positive mindset, motivation, and I put focus, but then I also added faith because Haley killed that one. Faith is huge.
Love it. We got Danny, the Zoom user.
Danny, the Zoom user, checking in. All right, so I got faith, love, forgiveness, curiosity, and genuinity. Genuine. I can't say it. Oh my God. Being genuine.
Genuosity. Love it.
Genuosity.
That's the word of the day. Genuosity.
Make up a word today.
There we go. All right, Brian Bean, you're next.
Sorry, my phone keeps dropping out for some reason.
No worries.
Servant's heart, active living, integrity, accountability. I honestly couldn't think of a 5th, but I'm sure it's more because there's just so many options than not an option.
Okay. All right, so here's the next part of this exercise, what I'd like you to take a look at. Take a look at your 5. And what's the one that if you develop that one at the highest level, the others would come easier or be less important? What's the one out of the 5? What's the one trait out of the 5 that if you were to develop it first or higher than the others would make everything else easier? Do you have it? Do you have it identified? Put a little circle next to, like circle it, underline it, put an asterisk next to it, just mark it. And here's what I'd like for you to consider, and this is kind of the homework that I'm going to give you this weekend to think about, is, so let's say you have a blank human being and you are going to teach or train that blank human being to develop that characteristic. What do they have to go through in order to develop that characteristic? For instance, I heard the word discipline a lot. I heard resilience a lot. So in order to develop discipline, what does someone have to go through to develop that trait of discipline at the highest level? Do they kind of do what they want when they want? Do they stop when things get hard? Do they switch tactics and strategies over and over and over again? Do they chase the shiny object? Do they go, well, this doesn't work for me and this doesn't work for me and my background said this and my parents told me this and someone said I could get this for cheaper here, right? They have to go through what? How do you develop, if you had a blank human being and you wanted to develop them the fastest way possible to someone who has discipline as a core habit or attribute, what do they go through? Do they have to deal with boredom? Do they have to deal with repetition? Do they have to consistently take action the same time every day? Do they generally eat the same thing every day or track what they eat every day? Are they aware of what they put in their mindset every day? Are they really in control of who they talk to every day? How long they talk to them every day? What they allow into their circle every day? Every day. Do they say no to things that aren't in their future self every day? Are they able to delay gratification every day? You want to develop compassion. Does someone who has a high level of compassion, do they talk about others? Do they engage in gossip? Do they sit with people who are hurting? Do they empathize? Do they like, what is someone with a high level of compassion? How does someone with a high level of compassion develop a high level of compassion? What do they have to go through to develop that compassion? Do you think someone with a high amount of faith isn't tested every day against that faith? Do you think they have to still take action despite fear? Do you think they still take action despite scraping across the bottom, knowing it's going to be worth it because I have faith, I believe? Everyone's against me, and that's okay because I believe. Take a look at your take a look at your characteristics and values and look down and ask yourself, if I'm supposed to get there in the next 3 to 5 years, what should I be going through daily if I really believe that that's the highest and best version of me? If that's my potential, what am I doing or not doing that's not honoring that future self? And is it a 66-day challenge? Is it a 75-day challenge? Or is it an infinite game? Let me ask this question. Does being a good father or a husband have a finish line? Does being someone of faith have a finish line? Is there a score that says, I won, I'm done? So is it what you do or is it who you're being? Now, sometimes what you do changes who you be, right? However, in order to get there, you've got to get really clear on who you would like to become. And then when you identify someone who is of high faith, then how does someone with a high faith, how do they show up? What do they do? What have they gone through? How do they continue to reinforce it and build on it, right? If you want to be healthy, there's a difference between saying I want to be healthy versus I need to lose 20 pounds. Because can you lose 20 pounds and not be healthy? 100%. Does being healthy have anything to do with 20 pounds? Not necessarily, no. Healthy people do certain things. Disciplined people do certain things. Resilient people Genuosity people do certain things. They've gone through certain things, right? Share with me, what are your thoughts around this kind of conversation? Because like your faces, I can see in your faces, I see a lot of like, oh shit. Thanks a lot, Matt. Going into the weekend with this. Thanks, bruh. What do you guys?
Yeah, I love this today's Matt. I think the thing that I took away the most was when you were talking about, is there a finish line to these skills, or is it just kind of an ongoing thing? And that kind of, in a way, it blew my mind, because I was like, well, yeah, you're trying to get to be, a good whatever, have resiliency, but like you said, there's no finish line to it. That's something you got to keep doing.
Yeah. Keep being.
You have to be it, but I think you have to kind of, because when you said, is it a 66 days, a 75, or is an infinite challenge? It's like, I think it starts with something like a 66 day or something like that, because you have to reprogram yourself so that you can be and live as the person you want to be.
Yeah.
So I
don't disagree. I don't disagree, right? Because it starts with, okay, so if you have a blank human being, what do they have to go through to take on and really embody these characteristics? Mm-hmm. Right? If you think about someone with high resiliency and the people that are on stage sharing their story, they didn't get there with cake and cupcakes and frosting. They went through tragedy. They went through complete ruin. They went through fire. The thing is, they went through it. And they're speaking to you on the other side of it. And we say, oh man, I really want to have what they have. And the question isn't, do you want what they have? The question is, are you willing to go through what they went through? Mm-hmm. I'm going to say something that really hurt me today. And I'm not saying it to hurt you. I'm saying it to empower you. I'm in a lot of rooms that are full of wantrepreneurs, not entrepreneurs. I know a lot of people that can quote the books. They've been to all the classes. They've taken the seminars. They know all the speakers. They've done nothing. Year after year after year. Stop wanting. Want equals lack. Start being. Become. Stop resisting the activities that will unlock that characteristic of your future self. Yeah, it's boring. Yeah, it's bullshit. Guess what? Blake has a commitment. He's on it right now. I make fun of him because I have to get in his head because we're in a competition. However, there are no excuses. Reasons are results. You see what's glistening on his shoulder? Those were his excuses. Sweat is simply fat crying. You get to keep your excuses. I'm not going to fight you for them. Blake's like, forget it. We're getting after it.
I have a question too.
Yeah.
Don't you think, like Blake, I am finding that the Wantrepreneur thing, it's like you have to do it, exactly what you said. And as much as you're saying like doing it is boring, it's only boring when you're thinking about it. But once you do it, it's invigorating. Like, it's like the part that you're saying that it's negative, like once you do it, it feels so good, even though it's like hard and but it's so like amazing. Like once you do something that you've been thinking about and agonizing and dreaming, like it's good, but it is different than what you're imagining it being. It's not like easy, but it feels good because it's hard.
Every day for the last 18 months, every morning, I have 6 ice cubes, 8 ounces of water, 2 scoops, same flavor, same bag, every day, last 18 months, every morning. That's what it is. Every day, every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday at 9 a.m. to 9:30, we have this conversation. What would it be like if I showed up and was like, all right, guys, here we go. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Bullshit. Does anybody got anything? Because I'm kind of over it. Like, this is kind of boring. Here we go. Conversations that convert. Okay, you know how we start. Who's got to win? Come on, people. Come on, people. F that. I'm not about that. Like, F that.
Be thankful for the ones that push you.
Yeah.
Be thankful the ones that push you hardcore.
Yeah.
If you start to feel the tension in what they're saying, push into that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go away from it. I'm telling you. And you know what's even better? Is when you rise up and push back just a little bit, and then they push back just a little bit. Then it gets exciting. Then you start to grow. If you're in your own world, no man was meant to be on an island. Get in a community of greatness and push yourself, because if you're not growing, you're dying. That's human biologically what you're programmed to do. Grow, grow, grow and heal. Grow and heal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. I know we're a little over on time. I want to respect your morning. I appreciate you guys all for showing up and becoming and stepping into the best version of yourself possible. Here's the thing. Time's going to pass anyway. You get to decide how. Who do you choose to be today? What is that? What is your future self? What does your future self do differently that you can start today? What's your future self day look like that you can begin implementing today? I can't wait to hear about it on Monday. Be amazing. Love you guys. Bye.